to see bigger numbers?
Yes, definitely, Desiree. We are starting to see people come out. You understand that, this vaccination site here has been open since 6 o'clock this morning. We understand that it's going to be open today, which is Thursday, right up to Saturday, and it will be closing at 4 o'clock. There's also a drive-through. I'm just going to start walking right now with the SABC board chairperson as well as the CEO, who will also be taking their jabs of the vaccination. We're just going to walk and just take you through that, Desiree, and just ask them how they feel about this vaccination. And understand that this is our board chairperson, Ntatebongo Musa Makatini. Can you just please tell us, how are you feeling? We understand that we have seen that men have said to be hesitant to taking the vaccine. What are your feelings about this? I mean, you're also just about to go and get your first shot of Pfizer, if I'm not mistaken.
It's the second one. It's my second shot today. My take is, as South Africans, we need to get vaccinated. It's the only way we can get back to normality. We can make our livelihood and our normal day-to-day activities back on track. So I'm really encouraging every South African, every youth, everyone who's eligible to go vaccinate.
Thank you so much. And also, Mr. Matot, can you just also tell us, is this your first one or your second one?
This is my second one.
This is also your second
Yes.
one. Well, I suppose you're a different narrative, all of you.
It's the second one.
Yeah, and how are you feeling? I mean, we've also seen some of your staffers coming in and also getting jabs, saying it's rather convenient.
Yes, it's important. And I think the reason why we did this is the truest expression of our mandate to inform the public, to create awareness, and to ensure that the nation gets vaccinated.
And also, how long is this going to be here? Are you quite happy with the turnaround that you're seeing as well, this use of SABC facilities?
Yes, it's been brilliant. The aim was to ensure we use our infrastructure, facilities, radio platforms, as well as television platforms to spread the word, to spread the message, and to ensure nation building and create awareness for people to come and vaccinate. We're going to have this for the next 4 days. And the idea is that depending on the turnout, and it's quite good today, we would obviously continue engaging with the Gauteng Department of Health and the entire province to continue with this. And the next step is also to take it to the different provinces. We're going to be doing Free State, Limpopo, and all of the other provinces, and to really create awareness and educate the population.
Thank you so much. And also, Mr. Given Makari, I also see you're here talking about partnerships. Have you also vaccinated, and your advice to other men at home as well, I suppose also youth?
Yeah, I think the whole story about men not vaccinating, I think it has been overstretched. I think that what we are seeing increasingly is that there are a lot of responsible men throughout our country who have taken the vaccination. I think access is an issue. I think that in terms of our partnership with the SABC and with government, we are finding that a lot of young people, men and women and older people, are coming out. We ran a vaccination site at Lefara village on Sunday last week with Limpopo Health. There were so many men, there were so many women, there were so many young people. So I think the more we go out and the more leaders in corporate South Africa, people in sports, ordinary people have access, the more it becomes convenient, the more people are coming out. And I think that the sentiment around vaccination has absolutely changed, because the 18-year-olds and up literally took it, are running with it. So December's around the corner. We want to leave. We want to leave. So I'm very encouraged. And also, I mean, just look at around, just here at the SABC at Radio Park, just the whole mobile thing. You can literally on your way to work, you're listening to the radio or you're watching television right now. Stop by Auckland Park. It doesn't take more than 10 minutes. You're off to work and you are free. So yes, I'm taking my second vaccination with my brothers right now.
Let's walk through. And Desiree, as I've just heard there, the issue of 3 gentlemen that are vaccinating, saying this is their second shot, and also just telling us that the issue. We heard Mr. Mukari just saying that he feels that the issue of men not vaccinating has been overstretched. I also spoke to a gentleman earlier on. He was also also on his way to work. He came, he got his vaccination, and saying that his reasons for vaccination was, the fact that he has buried people, he has seen people, he has spoken to people as well who have also told him that this is it's not a nice thing to have to suffer from COVID, but we're just going to walk there to the vaccination site and see the vaccination of the SABC Group CEO, as well as the board chairperson, as well as Mr. Given Curry, telling us that they are getting their second doses of the Pfizer vaccination, and encouraging other men, saying that this is quite important. It also doesn't take a long time. It's not a tedious process. It's not a process that will take the whole day. People are encouraged to come out. We also saw the turnaround by students coming in here, also making use of the vaccination site that has the pop-up vaccination site that has taken place here at the SABC. But we've also seen a lot of these vaccination sites that are popping up. A lot of the provincial governments, I suppose, going to people. We've seen it at taxi ranks. We've seen it at tribal councils. I mean, we did a story in Mote there where we saw tribal authorities, and I think earlier on our colleagues there in the Eastern Cape also speaking to one gentleman, saying that it's important to vaccinate, and it really doesn't take a long time to vaccinate. It's quite seamless and also not as painful, and the nurses here also quite helpful in explaining. And I think the issues that they do caution on is that if you have had COVID, or you've tested positive for COVID in the last 30 days, that you should hang on just a little bit, wait for your 30 days to lapse, and then you can come and vaccinate. Vaccines are not running out. There is enough for everybody. But also, I think encouraging is the new cohort that this has been opened to the 18 and above. Literally running with it. We saw quite a number of young people as well also coming here, saying that they heard this on the radio. They decided, some saw it on Morning Live, as you would have heard, that this has been going on here since 6 o'clock this morning. And it's quite easy, it's quite seamless. People, are already at work that have vaccinated here. Also seeing a lot of SABC staffers also coming out. But also when we spoke to the board, when we spoke to the group CEO, telling us that the turnout, he's quite happy with the turnout, that if it continues like this, it will be definitely something that they will be interested in running again if the pop-up site is successful. But definitely it really doesn't take long. As you'll see, the sister here is about to just give that second dose of the Pfizer vaccine to the SABC Group Chairperson, Mr. Musa Makatini, and there it is. It's literally done. It didn't even take it less than a minute. But I'm just going to ask him how he feels. He has obviously done this before. This is his second jab for, in terms of, because he has obviously taken the Pfizer one. But people here have an option in terms of taking Johnson & Johnson, or opting to take that Pfizer vaccine. Mr. Makatini, this is your second one. How are you feeling? I mean, you're fully vaccinated, so to speak.
I'm very excited that I'm now fully vaccinated, and it's a good feeling. It means I'm getting my life back, and I'm encouraging every South African to get vaccinated so that we can get back to our normality.
You've heard that Desiree, the SABC board chairperson, just telling us that this is his second one. He is, I can't wait to get life, for life to go back to normalcy. And even yesterday we also did that story where we saw these convention centers and the event centers saying that, the more people vaccinate, life is able to continue. We're hoping to also see, with more South Africans finding themselves at vaccination sites and also getting the jab, that the country can come and reopen again, especially for certain sectors that have obviously suffered more than other sectors. I think for a lot of people, just to have that life that will go back to normal. Our CEO also will just be getting, our CEO also, Mr. Mataka, will also be getting his vaccine. It's also his second one that he'll be getting today. I assume that this is also, he also took Pfizer. He says, quite excited to go back to normal, normal programming or normal life, as you would greatly appreciate. But it really has it really is quite, the turnout here is quite good. There are people in line as well. There are cars. There's also a drive-through as well as, you know, your normal sitting down and getting the vaccination. Perhaps you're taking a walk. You just come with your ID document and you are able to then get this your vaccine. But you also have a choice when you get here. Do you decide to take Pfizer or Johnson & Johnson? I have heard the sisters asking people coming here. We understand Johnson & Johnson is a single jab that you will be getting in terms of the vaccination. Some people opting for that. I know a gentleman had said earlier on that he definitely decided to get the Johnson & Johnson because he's not a fan of needles. So he'd rather do this once off and not have to do it the second time. We'll be, you know, as you can see the visuals there, SABC CEO, Group CEO, he's about to get also his second vaccination for, he took the Pfizer, I understand, but also, you know, just indicating that it is quite important. These partnerships are quite important for corporates as well as other sectors to come in and support this. I suppose also for employers, for them to be able to get back and have their employees feeling that everybody is safe. We know how this has disrupted work as we know it in South Africa. We saw office spaces, you know, becoming less and less, as well as employees having to work from home. But I suppose I will just ask him, just when he's finished, I see that he, you know, the sister is finished with that jab. Ask him in terms of, you know, bringing back employees into the building. We did see, you know, SABC offices being slightly emptier than normal as a result of the new normal, the new working normal. But let me just step in here and ask our CEO how he feels his second jab. Mr. Matata, how do you feel? It is your second jab. You did say that you encourage others to get this.
Yes, indeed. It's actually not that painful. And for me, it's about the need to preserve lives and do what is right. As you know, in terms of what the health department has been pushing, we need to make sure that as many people are vaccinated as possible so that the country can get back to normality.
And obviously you're an employer, so to speak. I mean, you are in charge here, encouraging also your staff members to come. Will this be in terms of operations? I mean, we know how this business works. Are you hoping to see more people getting vaccinated and, you know, going back to normal programming, if you'd call it that?
Yes, I mean, if you look around here at Auckland Park, there's been a lot of walk-ins and drive-thrus, people ensuring that they're getting vaccinated. This program, primarily, it's geared towards SABC employees and then the public. So we really encourage all our employees to come. The next phase is obviously to go to the different sites in different provinces and ensure that we accelerate the vaccination program.
Thank you so much. As you heard there, Desiree, that was the SABC Group CEO getting his second jab of, you know, the Pfizer vaccine, saying that he's hoping that we could possibly roll this out also in our other offices, you know, across the provinces in South Africa. This being also targeted at SABC employees as well as the general public. You know, the more the merrier, people can come in and get that vaccination. So quite encouraging to see the numbers. We will be here giving you, you know, the latest in terms of what is it looking like, but also quite encouraging to also see the student population, considering what Auckland Park, you know, the structure of Auckland Park being surrounded by a lot of these institutions of higher learning. We have seen some of them coming in, but we hope as news gets out that this vaccination site is up and it's active, we will see more foot traffic as well as the drive-through, because there is also a drive-through. You have two options in terms of walking in as well as driving through, and two options of the vaccines. Do you want a Pfizer jab or do you want a Johnson & Johnson? Back to you, Desiree.
Mahlako, thank you so much for that update. There we see, leading by example, both the chairperson of the SABC, Musa Makatini, and the Group Chief Executive Officer, Madoda Mqakwe, taking their second jabs in encouraging not only SABC staffers, but South Africans to go out and vaccinate in numbers. Thank you so much, Mahlako.